Canada's first Hall of Fame member, Fergie Jenkins, used pinpoint control and effectively changed speeds to win 284 games. Cast in the same mold as finesse artists like Catfish Hunter and Robin Roberts, Jenkins forged an impressive 3.34 ERA despite playing 12 of his 19 seasons in hitters' ballparks, Wrigley Field and Fenway Park. A diligent workhorse, Jenkins used an easy, uncomplicated motion to reach the 20-win mark 7 times and capture the National League Cy Young Award in 1971. He was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1991.
And you did. You go to Fenway. Did you like pitching in Fenway Park? I mean, with the wall on left, you probably took that to your advantage, and you won ball games there too, Ferguson. How about the couple years in Fenway?
Well, Fenway is similar to Wrigley. It's small, had a win factor from time to time during the summer months. We had a good pitching rotation. We had Louis Tiant, Rick Wise, Bill Lee, and myself. And, we can't score runs for everyone. That year, I think it was Louis. He probably averaged maybe 5-6 runs a game. Rick Wise, and we got starved from time to time, 2 or 3 runs. But I enjoyed Fenway Park. It made you think, similar to Wrigley Field. You can't afford to get behind in the hitters counts, stay ahead of the hitter, and by far, inning to inning, you got to think continuously because of the fact that if you make mistakes, small ballpark, you're going to give up runs.
Think about it, too. You unfortunately never got a chance to pitch in a postseason game, and you had the 2 great pennant races, 69 Mets, and everybody remembers 78. They forget 77. The Red Sox and Yankees had a very good pennant race in 77. Reggie played great late, hit some home runs. Red Sox went into Yankee Stadium in late September with a chance, and you were right there. So those were your 2 opportunities to win a division, Ferguson, 8 years apart. Let me hear some thoughts there. Go ahead.
Well, I thought we lost the pennant race when we went to Chicago. We had a 2.5 game lead, and Don Zimmer changed the pitching rotation.
Right.
He took Bill Lee, myself, and Rick Wise out of the rotation. We had a 2.5 game lead. And when we left Chicago, we were tied with Baltimore, and the Yankees were a half game in front. And I think the Yankees didn't lose the lead after that. But I just thought that if he hadn't changed that rotation, things would have might have been different. I think we got the Yankees out pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, everybody did it in 78, too. So Don with the pitchers could be at times a little crazy. Hall of Fame?
Hello, fellow collectors. Frank here, back with another TTM show, Saturday special, episode 8, called The Buffalo President. I'll tell you in a little bit why this is called The Buffalo President. So I hope you're having a good one. TTM is through the mail. These are through the mail autographs I got. Yeah, and I like to once a week do a special one. And I have a special one here today. This is through a private sign-in TTM and an eBay purchase. First, a private sign-in through the mail. I got through Cardboard's promotion on May 6, 2022. The 1976 Topps traded. There's Fergie Jenkins with the inscription, Buffalo President. This was for $44, $29 for the autograph, and $15 for the inscription. And I also got him on the 1981 Topps. And this is Fergie Arthur Jenkins. He was born December 13th, 1942 in Chatham, Canada. Jenkins was a right-handed throwing pitcher. He played 19 seasons in the majors with the Phillies, Cubs, Rangers, and Red Sox. He was the 1971 Cy Young Award winner, a 3-time All-Star, and he was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. And here a little bit, some achievements in his career. He won a career 284 wins with 3.34 ERA, was a 74 comeback player of the year, a 2-time league win leader, innings pitch leader once, strikeout leader once, 4-time complete game leader. He had 10 15-game seasons, 7 20-game seasons, 1 25-game season, and he was a workhorse out of there. And, of course, inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1991. And he was part of the infamous Buffalo Heads. So this is a question I asked Bill Lee in my last return from Lee. Who were the original Buffalo Heads? And he said that Fergie Jenkins was the president. He was the CEO. Rick Wise was the owl man. Carbo, the spiritual officer, and Willoughby, the shaman. And I had him all the signs except for Rick Wise. And here's Bill Lee talking about the Buffalo Heads.
Now all I got is Don Zimmer.
What does that mean exactly?
Well, he's the other one who released me, and he's the one who formed the Buffalo Heads, of which that program, which is Fergie Jenkins, myself, Bernie Carbo, and Rick Wise.
Is this them there?
The infamous Buffalo Head gang. And we were all released simultaneously and 1 year after another from the Red Sox, and they ceased to become a 500 ball club. And
That was the undoing of the Red Sox.
That was the undoing. That was the string that started it. Actually, it was a guy named...
There it is, Bill Lee. So the Buffalo Heads were a group of players. So I guess Don Zimmer had some ill feelings towards some of the pitchers on the team, and this group got together, and their objective was to second guess Zimmer, whom they had little regard for. As you see on the opening description, Fergie talked a little bit how that team kind of imploded in 1977. So a lot of people think that Bill Lee had coined the phrase Buffalo Head. So that actually was something that Fergie Jenkins came up with. And so this is Fergie's quote. The buffalo was the dumbest animal known to man. The Indians used to hunt them by driving them one off a cliff. All the rest would follow. So hence they called Don Zimmer Buffalo Head, and they became the Loyal Society of the Buffalo Heads, and there was a group of Red Sox pitchers, as you said, Bill Eastman, that were disbanded in the 77-78 season. Fergie was traded, and Carbo was traded the next season, and so on and so forth. And most of these guys remained friends years after their playing days. And if you go back on episode 7 of the TTM show, I talk a little bit about Bernie Carbo and his relationship with Bill Lee and Fergie Jenkins, how they helped him through a very tough time in his life. Later on down the road, they ended up playing together in the Senior Baseball League, and he was interviewed about getting back with the old gang, and he said, what did Jenkins think when his former manager Zimmer took the Cubs to the division championship, was named manager of the year in 1989? And Jenkins is quoted saying, "I didn't send him any telegrams." But was Zimmer's? He was asked, was Zimmer a worse manager than Bill Lee? He said, no. Jenkins said with a laugh, Zimmer was much better. So Bill Lee was the manager of that Super Sox team in the Senior League. And Bill Lee was right. The Red Sox became pretty much a 500 team going after the 78 season, the early 80s, all kind of starting from the disbanding of those pitchers. Fergie Jenkins was traded away in that 77 to 78 offseason for a young rookie pitcher named John Polani, who only ended up having two major league pitching appearances. He never even played a game in Boston. While Jenkins went on to be 18-8 and back with the Texas Rangers in 1978. And I'm quoting an article that is reading, safe to say the Red Sox could have used a pitcher of Jenkins' ability down the stretch while they were fighting the Yankees in 1978. And we all know how that ended. Before I wrap up this video here, there's another Red Sox pitcher that had a run-in with the so-called Buffalo Head, Don Zimmer, years later.
Oh my goodness. Don Zimmer and Pedro Martinez. Oh, that's awful. Don Zimmer, a 72-year-old man, went in.
And there's Pedro and Zimmer's run-in in the 2003 season, famous brawl between the Red Sox and the Yankees. Man, what was Zimmer going after Pedro anyways for, I say? I think Pedro was just a knee-jerk reaction. If you had a Buffalo heading out after you like that, I think I would pivot it as well. And rest in peace to Don Zimmer. This is no disrespect to Don Zimmer. He ended up being a pretty good manager later on with the Cubs and had a tough time with Boston during his tenure there. Either way, I thought it was an interesting piece of history in baseball lore in Boston. Buffalo president. I asked him for Buffalo Heads president, but he signed it Buffalo president Fergie Jenkins. Not all the people don't probably even remember that Fergie Jenkins did play for the Red Sox. It was very shortly, 2 seasons. And by the way, Jenkins has a really interesting story as well. It was a really good documentary on MLB Network recently. I didn't want to go deep into that. I just wanted to talk about the Buffalo Heads history. And a man with an interest in life. He is Canadian, the first Canadian in the Baseball Hall of Fame. He has a horse ranch. I think he's up in Canada now, along with some of the other Red Sox players up there. They have some unique living out there. We got Bill Lee up in Vermont. We got Fergie up in Canada. Carbo, I think, has a ministry now. I don't know much about Wise. I have to send out to him. He is a signer. I got Willoughby a while back. I'll have all the main Buffalo Head signs. Maybe I'll ask some of the other ones to sign with their position as well. We'll see. And I want to thank you very much, Mr. Fergie Jenkins, for taking your time to sign my card, and a nice look at eBay pickup as well, in the 1981 Topps card as well. I examined it pretty closely. It looks pretty legit. It's always a question when you buy off of eBay, but it was a bit cheaper than trying to go to Fergie. I did it through a private sign-in, but I guess he does do $40 a signature now through the mail. I got this for $29, that Red Sox one, with $15 for the subscription. But if you send him $40 in the mail, I guess he typically will sign a card for you. And I got the one on eBay for something like cheap, like $15 or something like that. A little bit more with shipping. So thank you so much, Mr. Jenkins. I'm really happy to add a couple of his cards to this TTM signature collection. And thank you for joining me. Thank you for sticking around for another TTM show, Saturday special. I'll be talking to you soon, back with some more TTM show returns next week. And got another good picture coming from the 70s next Saturday, I believe, if we get this TTM video going for you. So thank you for joining me. And I always enjoy talking a little bit about baseball and about TTM returns, etc. I will talk to you real soon. Take care. God bless. Peace.